Dee Dee Myers was President Clinton's first White House press secretary. She's now a contributing editor for Vanity Fair magazine. Former Republican presidential candidate Pat Buchanan is an MSNBC political analyst. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Matt.
Dee Dee, let me start with you. Two camps, it seems. When you look at the popularity numbers for the president right now, down from 68% to 57%. One camp says it's just the afterglow of the election is over. The other camp, and I think Pat falls into this camp, will say, no, this is about this president and this administration screwing up with the stimulus plan and the economy. What's the truth?
Well, the truth is that this president started his term with a tremendous amount of political capital, and he made clear from the very beginning that he was going to spend that trying to do not small things but big things. He started with the stimulus. We're now in the midst of a very complicated health care reform process, and the president is spending some of that political capital. You're going to see the poll numbers bounce around as a result of that.
But if people look and think that the spending of it has got positive results, they wouldn't be jumping off the bandwagon. So a lot of people are not thinking this is going well.
Well, you know, we always react in the short term when sometimes the process is a longer term issue. You know, we all know that. So do we know what the results of the stimulus are yet? No. The administration said we'd spend about a quarter of it in 2009, another half in 2010. We're on track to do that. Is it having the results that the president had hoped? Maybe not quite yet. Will it over time? We don't know the answer to that yet. So people have to kind of, you know, keep their hair off from going on fire and try to be a little bit more patient. The president is going to need to come home, though, and address this. He's going to have to reassure people, reassure them why he's taken these big, difficult steps and why we might not see the results as quickly as some people might hope.
Pat, give me your take on this. Why are these numbers dropping?
Because the patience of the American people is understandably running out, Matt. The President of the United States got an $800 billion stimulus package. He's running the largest peacetime deficit by far in American history. And Americans are saying, where are the jobs? We're losing them still at the rate of 500,000 jobs a month. The work week is diminishing. Hours are getting shorter. Real wages are not going up. And people are asking, where are the results? That stimulus package, $800 billion, we learned that only 10% has gone out the door. That is not a stimulus package. Questions are being raised about the competence of the Congress and the President of the United States, who have a stimulus package, only 1/10 of which is out the door. It's not working, Matt. That's the problem.
Dee Dee, you remember the debate in Congress at the time of the vote on the stimulus plan was between do we take this money and use it for government spending, or do we put it into tax cuts? That was where the line was drawn. Are you starting to worry at all that perhaps they erred in the wrong direction here?
Well, I think the first thing the president had to do was pass a package through a Democratic-controlled Congress, and so you do have to make some compromises in order to get the votes to get it done. He did that. You know, in a perfect world, would there have been a little more tax cuts? In my view, yes. But over time, will this package work? The administration continues to believe that it will.
You know, Matt,
I don't think we know the answer to that yet. You know, the last thing to wait a sec, Pat. The last thing to recover in any economic recession is jobs. And yes, the administration is worried about that. Yes, we want to see more job growth. But that's the way these things unfold.
But I think we do know the answer, Dee Dee, for this reason. What the president could have done, he had Congress, he had the whip hand over Congress. He could have said, look, cut those payroll taxes right now, cut them in half for all businesses, all individuals. Money would have gone into the pockets of people every week, every month in the paychecks. You would have got that booster shot into the economy by now. We would have ignition. This engine hasn't even turned over yet, and the reason is the way you structured this package was more for the politicians, I think, than it was for the people.
I don't want to make this feel unfair and give you a double last word here, Pat, but this question really is for you. In just 10 seconds, if you don't mind, the common belief is that Republicans are sitting on the sidelines quietly or not so quietly rooting for the economy to stay in the slumps so they can recover in the midterm elections. True or false? Fair assessment?
False. I think what the Republicans are saying now is we were right all along. I think they've got the momentum now. I think they've got some of their grit back. I think health care is in deep trouble, and cap and trade is in deep trouble, and rightly so.
Pat Buchanan and Dee Dee Myers. Folks, it's nice. Dee Dee, I can see your mouth open. 5 seconds.
I was just smiling.
Pat's got a point.
Well, it's okay. We can end on a smile.
The Republicans have not offered any alternatives. They sit on the sidelines and fire barbs. That's not an alternative, and the American public recognizes that.
All right. You end up getting the last word there anyway. Dee Dee and Pat, thanks so much. Nice to see you both.
Thanks, man.
She's no fool. She's going to get it in. Absolutely.